Oh, hi there. In the last video, we learned about the logic of the game. This time is to create the UI of the app. Uh, so we'll create the user interface. So in the first or second tutorial, we removed all the code from the main.dart and used this material app inside this run app. So it's time to understand all of these things uh, over here. So first thing is that the the program or the execution of the app starts with this main function, and inside that there is a run app function. So it inflates the widget and attach it to the screen. So in Flutter everything is widget, even the UI and the classes that are whatever is showing on the screen is basically a widget, nothing else. Okay, so this run app requires the widget as a parameter. If you want to see this the parameters and all the things, go to the docs.flutter.io and search for the class or method. You will find the description and all the things you need. So this run app accepts a widget as a parameter. And why this material app, right? So this material app is a convenience class. As you can see, it's a convenience widget that wraps a number of material widgets. So it is a convenient class to have material designs. If you want to use the material components, then you should use this material app over here, and it has some parameters to help you to build a material app. So the first thing is that it has the home property. So this home property is this first widget provided to the material app class. So we'll use this home property and provide some widget over here. So we'll provide a new widget over here. So let's build the new widget class. We'll keep its name game widget, and we'll extend the stateful widget. I will be back to this stateful and stateless widgets. So first let's extend the stateful widget class, and it will override this method create state and give it here game widget. So as you can see, we have extended this stateful widget class. There is also another kind of widget available, which is stateless widget class. So what is the difference between those two? So the only difference is that the stateful widget is a kind of widget that user can interact with. So it has a state, it has some data that will be changed by interacting with the widget. So if you want to see the documentation of it, I have it somewhere over here, I think. Okay, here it is. So here is the difference between the stateful and stateless widgets given. So you can see if widget changes or the user interacts with it, it is stateful, right? So given that, you can understand that stateful widgets will have some data with them that will be changed, and whenever we change the state data, it will call the set state method and compute the difference between the previous state and new state, and tells will tell the framework to redraw the widget. So whenever the data changes, the UI observes it and automatically reacts to it. So that's why also the Flutter is called as the reactive framework. Okay, so let's create some state. So as you can see, this create state method requires a state to be returned. So we'll take the another class, we'll call it game state, which extends the state. There's a state class over here, and we'll say that we want to have the state of the game widget. So we'll write this generic argument as game widget, and it will override this build method. So whenever the state is changed, this build method is called again, and the framework compute the differences between the previous and the new state and automatically update this widget UI. Okay, so inside this will return the new game state. Okay, so the another thing worth noticing is that we can remove this parenthesis in Dart and write the single line functions, inline functions with this arrow syntax. So we can remove it here. We could also remove it from here as well. So we can set this returns this new material widget, nothing else, nothing new in that, right? Sorry, it's a parameter. Okay, whenever something returns something, then we can use this arrow function over here. Or there is just one line of code. So now inside this game state, we are going to provide the UI of our widget. So if we, let's try to run this project and see what happens. Okay, I showed you this shortcut Alt or F12, right? And if we try Flutter run, taking too much time as usual. So now you can see there are some errors over here, and if you see the screen, it will be red, and it says the build function return null. The offending widget is game widget. So build function must never return null, right? So this build function did not return any widget, and so it took null by default, and so there is nothing to render here. So if you don't return anything from build, the application crashes. The application doesn't crash, but this kind of message will be shown to the developer. So now inside this build method, let's implement some widget. Okay, so the basic widget, the basic widget that wraps the other material components is a scaffold. There is a scaffold class, a scaffold widget. If you want to see more about it, let's try this. So this scaffold is is the implementation of basic material layout structure. So we all know that material design is a design of the paper in mind. So the material components are like paper. So to provide such look and feel, this scaffold class provides the visual layout structure for such components. So we'll use this scaffold, and inside this scaffold we have multiple options to provide the app bar and floating action button and many other options, drawer, navigation drawer. For now we'll provide the app bar, which will be our app bar widget. And app bar widget have some multiple options, like title is over there. There is a there will be something for color. Let's try. First we'll give a title, guessing game, and then we'll try some color. Okay, there is a background color that will be have the colors argument. So we'll give it color. Let's give it deep orange. Okay, so this title is complaining that title isn't string, but the title is a text widget. So as I said, everything in Flutter is a widget. So title is a text widget, and text widget will have this guessing game title, and inside this scaffold, let's try to complete it and run. Okay, so it should show the toolbar on the Android and the app bar on the iOS. I don't have the iOS virtual device right now, but you can see it by yourself. Oh, there is another mistake, I think. Let's see what happens.